Welcome in and thanks for joining today smc_may_I. Welcome in and thanks for joining today Exegitio. Welcome in and thanks for joining today Idremin Memes. Welcome in and thanks for joining today Just Temporal. Welcome in and thanks for joining today Clarkio.
Thanks for having me. So meta.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today Royal EC.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. We're not going to start with the dance until 12:30 so that nobody misses it that can't join right now. But we're starting early because I have to have an abbreviated stream today. We're going to be ending around 3 p.m. Eastern time. So just a heads up on that. And there you have it. Seeing lots of stuff in the activity feed. Good to see lots of folks in the chat. Appreciate you joining early. And we got some watch streaks going. All right, we're gonna catch up. Let me let me just switch over. Get right into it. Hello, happy Friday. Welcome into the Clarkio Shenanigan Show. We're not fully starting yet. You're getting a little pre-show activity. I don't know what to tell you. Before we do the dance. When the dance happens, that's when we actually start. But we'll get chatting right now. We need to kind of time box what we're doing here so that we can get into the meat of it today, which is using this beautiful face to cause scene changes in OBS. I think I'm close. I've been working on it diligently. Last weekend I worked on it a little bit, and then yesterday as well in preparation for today's stream. Also in preparation because I think I'm going to make a video out of it for work that I think would be super interesting. Not quite like that, Exegete. That's part of the bot that I wrote that I've like decommissioned basically. So good try though, and I'm glad you remember that and calling it out. So stick around for that segment of the show because I think we're going to be able to get it working to some degree today. Maybe not, perfectly polished and all that stuff. That will be maybe off stream or next stream, that type of thing. But I think we can get it actually working.
Thanks for joining today's Stream Elements.
Hey, Stream Elements. Good to see ya. Thank you for being here. I'll catch up on the alerts in just a second here. So that's what we have in store for today. We'll do a very abbreviated, the full stream is going to be abbreviated. I got to stop at 3 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to do an abbreviated, segments so that we have the maximum amount of time to focus on getting that done using this face. Okay? Smack this face. Oh, actually, I didn't mean to hit myself that hard. I startled myself. Okay, catching up on chat while we're here hanging out. It'd be cool if the dance scene you could look at a cam and change it to its scene. That's exactly the mission. That's the end goal. That's the reason why we're doing this, Exegete. I'm glad you called that out because I'm tired of having to manually change scenes, and so the whole idea is the camera detects I'm looking at that camera and knows, and then the code knows, okay, if that camera is detecting my face looking at it, it's going to switch scenes. That's what we're aiming to do, and I feel close. I feel like we're close to it. So glad to hear you're on the same page. Pre-show show, yes, Jess, good to see you. By the way, I was lurking in your stream earlier. Very cool stuff. You're working on hardware authentication and stuff like that, so that's cool. Keep it up. How meta, yes, Exegete, good to see you. I Dream in Memes, good to see you. Welcome in. Frackberg, good to see you, buddy. Welcome in. You did make me laugh with that 2-hour, 58-minute warning earlier, by the way, so props to you for that. May, great to see you as well. Welcome in. Also, the FBI command. You got me a little bit with that, too. Although I didn't have my headphones on. I had them sitting on the desk next to me, so it wasn't as startling, but it still startled me. So, job well done, sir.
Thanks for joining today, Rambling Geek.
Rambling Geek, good to see you, buddy. How's it going? Glad to see you. You were streaming after you were in here last week, so good to see that, buddy. Keep it up. Happy Friday. Folks, get your wins of the week queued up, too. I would love to see that. So we can, again, we have an abbreviated session. I want to get through the normal segments still, though, and then get into what the title says, okay? Evening to you as well, Rambling Geek. Jess says, oh, dear, you just made me nervous. No, don't be nervous. It's awesome. Finite, by the way. Thank you so much for the, let's see if this works. My kid was messing with the sound board. 32. Oh, nice. Maybe because I restarted. 32 months resub in a row. Appreciate you, buddy. 32, it's not a prime number, but it's a great number. I agree. Thank you so much for that heckin' long time of support, Finite. Good to see you, buddy. How are things going by you, man? I saw your stream title or something like that indicated that you were on a break. How was your break? How was maybe a little vacation? How'd that go? Let us know. Jess says my little sis showed up in chat on my stream and I almost cried. I was so surprised. Oh, that's awesome. You know that's great to see family supporting you. I can definitely.
And thanks for joining today, Finite Singularity.
I can definitely feel that. Frackberg says RG Rambling Geek and crew are trying to get Chris Jones to start streaming so we can share the troll love. Oh my gosh, that would be fantastic. Chris Jones being one of the ultimate trolls who trolled himself, basically. Finance says it was great. Win of the week. We went skiing in Colorado last weekend. It was amazing. That's awesome to hear. And thank you for kicking off wins of the week for us. Great to hear. Great to hear. What else we got? Speaking of wins of the week, let's talk about wins of the week. If you don't know what they are, exclamation point WOTW in the chat. I'm going to do it for you right now.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, clarkio bot.
Clarkio bot.
Thanks for joining today, clarkio.
Clarkio. I need to get it to ignore those somehow. So yeah, wins of the week. What's a win? Valentine's Day was this week. I got a nice chance to meet up with my wife for Mrs. Clarkio for lunch. We had a very quiet lunch. Those of you that are parents know and understand, maybe, or if you know people that are parents, can also sympathize or understand that feeling. So it was nice to do that. We had good quality time. And another win is her and I are going out on a date night tonight, thanks to Granny Clarkio. I don't know how, my mother-in-law. She's going to come and watch the kids for the night. So very excited about all that. And that's a huge win. We actually were supposed to go see, so it's kind of like a loss, but it still should work out. We're supposed to go see Mike Birbiglia. He's one of our favorite comedians because he's just like an amazing storyteller, the way he delivers his show. And my wife surprised me with that too. So big win right there. And unfortunately, Mike Birbiglia had some like family stuff come up or something like that, and he had to postpone the shows. So we'll have to see him, I think, in March sometime is when it got moved to. So, but anyway, we're still going out on a date night. We don't care. So, Frackberg says Valentine's Day was my 23rd anniversary of me breaking up with my wife and our senior year of high school. The delay there between messages, those were two separate messages for folks that don't have that context. Jess shared a win of the week. Survived this week, hosted meetup at the office, made this stuff work on the stream, even though tired. Good week overall. Good productive week. That's awesome. So congrats. Thank you for sharing. Frackberg, thank you for sharing your funny win of the week. This has never been brought up once in our 19 years of marriage, I bet. Yeah. Congrats. Thank you both for sharing those wins of the week there. Another win of the week, work-wise for me, was one of our videos. Our next video got completed by the editing team, and I'm really happy to see things progressing and how it turned out. I'm really excited to start sharing for these to go public. We have them hidden right now because we're getting a backlog of videos done. I have a bunch of scripts done that are being reviewed by our internal editing or editorial team, and it's been fun making videos. Really a lot of fun. I'm really excited. Also nervous though to see how these things perform, but very excited for this year to come and how it's going. My boss gave me lots of props. He reviewed this latest one, like a first draft version of the edit, and he's like, these are looking amazing, and he's really pumped about it. So, and the quality of them are like crystal clear, so they're really high quality, really looking good. I can potentially tease it a bit more and like show you some because I have the link that I can pop up and play. But we're not publishing them just yet. So really excited about that. That's another win as well. Kids are healthy. That's always a win. Always grateful for that. They're doing well. My oldest, who had the flu, is mostly over. It has a little bit of a lingering cough going on, but otherwise she's back to her normal self. So really happy about that. And yeah, that's about that. Keep your wins coming in the chat, by the way. I also want to thank Roy Lisi for the 3 stream streak. That's amazing. Back at it again. Sorry that I messed up your stream streak. And I've kind of, speaking of that, really, I'll catch up on more of those because there's a couple others in the activity feed for me. But speaking of that, one of the things that's been So there's two reasons why I haven't been doing the co-working stream since that one that I did. One of them being I'm constantly thinking now, oh no, I might break somebody's streak, and I don't want to do that because they only expect me to be streaming on Fridays. Okay. And two, just been busy, kind of hectic, and like I'm normally aiming for East Coast afternoons, sometime between like 1 and 4 to like do a co-working stream. But oftentimes I'll have a meeting come up during that time or whatnot that just like kind of throws off me even getting started in the first place to stream. If I had already started streaming and I have a meeting, I can handle that. But a lot of times I'm just head down into and knee deep into like some type of work or whatever that I'm like, I don't want to stop the flow that I'm in. You know what I mean? Because once you get in the flow, and a lot of you don't want to break that flow state or get distracted. You want to minimize the distractions. So that's the biggest reason why I haven't been doing the co-working streams. But again, keep an eye out on those. I really enjoyed it the last time I did it. I do feel like I had a lot of focus time, and it was nice to take those little Pomodoro breaks. We were following that Pomodoro pattern or process or system. I don't know how people typically
An ad is
describe it.
about to start in 5,000
Dang it.
milliseconds on Twitch. There's an ad running for 90.
So there is that. Wait for the ad to finish. There's about a minute, 15 seconds on that automated ads. Hopefully they update those so that we get a little bit more of a warning ahead of time before the ad actually starts. So that's what's going on. I haven't done the word. I forgot to do the Wordle and connections yesterday. I could potentially. Well, I can't go back and do the Wordle yesterday or connections. That'd be nice if those games would let you go back and do previous days. You know. But they're just not built like that, I don't think. While we're on this little ad break, I'm going to double check on work, make sure I'm not missing anything. Speaking of work, a little story time that happened this morning. I'm not sure just yet if it was our internal IT security team yet testing us, or if it's actually like attack going on against us. But I got a phishing email, and I reported it right away. And it looks like one other person, at least, or two other people, got that same email. But we suspect it's just our internal IT team testing us to keep us fortified. You know, being a security company. So that was interesting. It was basically to try and get our passwords. Really, really slick looking. And like if you're not really careful, you would miss it, the link in the URL. Roy Lee says, that's a good idea. I should do that at work. Do a phishing email? You should not do that unless you get permission to do so by like your internal IT team. But yeah. Jess says, I feel like an accomplished person when I report a phishing email. I know, right? It does feel good when I catch those and I report it. I sent it in one of our chat channels, and I reported it as spam. XG says, as devs, we should be able to test our security folks, like randomly leave in a SQL injection and see if they catch it. Yeah, that would go over well. Roy says to test everyone there. Yeah. Oh, well, yes, it's good that they do. Yes. I thought you meant it's a good idea for you to like attempt to do a phishing attack against your company. I would say, no, don't do that. Word of advice. That reminds me. I saw Thor, Pirate Software. I've been subscribing to his YouTube channel, and he's been publishing shorts of clips of him giving advice on stream. And one of them caught my attention. I mean, a lot of them do, but this one stood out to me where he was talking about how he never connects to anything sensitive or important on public networks because unless he is the administrator of that network, meaning like basically unless he's at home on his own network that he controls and has administrative privileges on, he does not connect to his bank account or stuff like that. And while I mostly agree with that, what was his reasoning? He was saying that in a lot of cases, like on public networks, especially if it's an unprotected, like no password on a public network, your traffic is you're susceptible to things like a man-in-the-middle attack, where somebody's intercepting your traffic on the network and analyzing it before passing it along to the destination it's supposed to go to. And while things can get quite sophisticated with that, I think if you're using something like a VPN or the sites are properly using TLS, transport layer security, you're mostly okay unless somebody's like really good and has, maybe they compromise the um the public Wi-Fi network somehow in some way where they can install their own certificates there that are trusted, um, and then successfully execute like a man-in-the-middle attack. Like there's certain, I guess the point I'm getting at is while I agree with his advice, I think there's a lot of nuance though to it where you're out and about and or that was the big thing he said. I just remembered. You're out and about and you connect to a cell tower. He's like, who owns that cell tower? You think it's your cell provider, but it's actually another company that owns that cell tower. And do you trust them? Do you know who they are? Do you know that they're gonna? And it's like in a lot of cases, you got to do stuff while you're out and about. Like, what are you supposed to do? Uh, never connect to that stuff or never be able to do that type of thing while you're out and about. I don't know. I mean, I guess there was a time before any of this existed, and people got by and were able to do that. But we're living in a different time now. So anyway, I'm not saying I disagree. I'm saying that there's a nuance to it that should be called out and further. Maybe there is because it was just a snippet of him from his stream. Anyway, I digress. I thought it was interesting, and I'm curious what you all think too. Um, Jess says at Okta we have a fish alarm, like a plugin attached to the email, and it lets folks know. Also, it shows me when it was one of those security tests. Okay, nice. That's cool to hear. That's good that they have that. XG says Proton VPN's kill switch feature is pretty snazzy. Right. You can do stuff like that where it makes sure that nothing goes over the network until the VPN is properly connected first, and that way all your traffic is going through the VPN. Now, if you're using VPN for privacy purposes, there are things where you can still be tracked and it can still with proper I'm not privy to how to do this, but I believe the possibility. I don't think it's impossible to still be tracked. So I personally don't leverage VPNs just for the purposes of privacy in the sense of like I want my traffic hidden from like people keeping track of my history or stuff like that. It's more of an added layer of transport layer security so that just to mix it up, make me a little bit harder to track is kind of the idea. But I know that there are ways that if you're always connecting to the same, for instance, the same servers on that VPN, even though they're cycling IP addresses, there will be patterns that people can potentially see in that type of thing, right? So, VPN from mobile to home, you could do that too. But again, you're expecting your internet service provider not to do anything, right? Not to be monitoring your traffic and seeing what you're doing.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Ayush Sharma.
Ayush, why do you even need a VPN? You don't necessarily need a VPN. I think it's beneficial to have a VPN, not a free one. I wouldn't go with one of the free ones because lots of times those free ones have something deep in the fine print of their terms of services where they are using your data and your traffic to sell to marketers or whatever, advertisers or whatnot. So keep that in mind. I use a couple different VPN providers again to mix it up. If I'm on a public network, that's one of my main reasons for having it. If I'm on a public network, especially if it's not password protected, and I want to again, I'm not going to connect to my bank account unless I like absolutely have to for some odd reason. I don't know that I can even recall a time where I've had to do that, but generally speaking, I'm just connecting to a VPN when I'm on a public network. At home, I even do it sometimes, a lot of times. Or for instance, when I'm streaming and I don't want my IP address to be revealed because then it will kind of dox me in a sense because you can do a reverse lookup on that IP address and start seeing my like local, more accurate, more precise address physically in the world. And I don't want that exposed on the internet necessarily. That's another reason why I would use a VPN. But yeah, mainly because if I'm out and about and I don't want my traffic visible on a public network, I will use a VPN just to add a layer. It's not impossible for some. Again, it's not impossible, but at least adds a layer. And you imagine you're at a hotel or a coffee shop, and there's at least a dozen other people. At a hotel, it's hundreds of other people that are connecting to the network. If somebody is an attacker on that network, the likelihood that they're going to go after you versus the easier low hanging fruit that's on that network, they're going to see your traffic. They're going to be like, maybe this is more interesting to me, but there's plenty of other people that are way easier to compromise right now. So I'm going to focus on them. You know what I mean? That's my thought process. It's kind of the whole analogy of, do you want to be for a burglar, do you want to be the house in the neighborhood that looks like the easiest one to break into, or the hardest one, right? Doesn't mean they're not going to try, but they're likely going to be more than likely they're going to be lazy and they want to go for the easier one first. It's just human nature. So that's the thought process with it. It's not perfect. It's not a bulletproof solution that will keep me 100% safe. I don't think that's ever the case 100%. Unless you just don't connect to the internet, then you're 100%. So that's the thought process behind that. Hope that helps Ayush and anybody else that's curious. Roy Lee says, personally, I saw cell towers are usually monitored. Mobile data seems pretty safe as long as you don't go on random public networks monitored by the government. Yeah, I think so. But I know of, I've never experienced it or seen it in action, but I know there's ways for people that have the resources to do so. They can spoof cell tower connections with devices at their homes or whatever. Like you hear about it at those big hacker focused conferences like Black Hat and DEF CON and that type of thing. So, that's why I've always been interested in going to those big security focused conferences, but I'm honestly afraid to, because I feel like I can't call my family. I can't connect to the internet at all while I'm there, because there's people constantly doing stuff. You're bringing together all these top-notch people that are experts in this field, way more knowledgeable and way more expertise than myself, and I don't want to compete with that. I don't want to mess with that. Don't put me in that scenario. That's the thought process, at least. So, yep. Do you know military has network equipment which literally hijacks cell signal from the air? I don't doubt it. Just as I was going to say the same. I want to go, but bring 0 devices. Right. And it's like I need to be able to connect with my family. Like, I want to FaceTime with my family while I'm away. And I don't want anybody monitoring that or being able to tap into that somehow, Catching up on more chat. VPN from mobile to home from Rambling Geek. Saw that already.
Come in and thanks for joining today. Code with CN.
Code with CN. Use ExpressVPN for the win. I think I've heard of that one. That's cool. Glad to hear it. Hold family on the shoulders. Yeah. What else did I miss in chat? Personally, I saw cell towers. Read that. Fragberg says, can we even trust our own ISPs at that point? I agree. I absolutely agree. I think you heard me probably mention that. I just missed your message when you said that. Did I miss anything else in chat? I feel like I saw more. Ads are done. Any more wins of the weeks that are going on? Speaking of Monday, says Frackberg. Or speaking of, Monday is my actual 19th wedding anniversary. That's awesome to hear. Congrats on that. Props to you and Mrs. Frackberg. 19 heckin' years. My wife and I have been dating for a very long time. Since we were 16. We're getting up there in total time together and marriage. What else is in chat here? I think I'm all caught up. All right, on that, let's get into For What It's Worth. Yeah, FWIW. I got you. Thank you for calling that out, though, in case I didn't know that or anybody else in the chat. Coach Sean. All right, we're going to do Wordle. The wife and I dated off and on through high school. Nice. That's cool to hear, Frackberg. All right, we are going to get into the Wordle and connections. Wordle, it's don't give me the answers or anything like that. Don't try to help me. In fact, you want to try and mess me up, because it's me versus you, chat. And the score, last we checked, is currently at, I think, 4-6, 5-6. So I have the opportunity today to get a win if I guess it in 3 or less guesses to tie the game. We didn't dance. Oh, yeah, it's 12:32. We should dance. All right, we'll do the dance before I do Wordle. Okay. But let me finish this thought. I have a chance to tie it. So today's a big day, Wordle-wise. Then after that, connections will work together as a team to figure out the connections. Okay. And then I might, and then I'll look to just jump right into the technical stuff. Unless I start eating, then we'll do words on stream and Gartic. Okay. I've known her since we were 14, 15. That's awesome. I've known my wife since 5th grade when she moved to the town and went to my elementary school. And we were in the same class in 5th grade. I'm not competing. I'm just sharing more background. So it's like we're in the same boat here, Frackberg. That's awesome. All right. Dance time. Jimmy boy, you know what to do? You need a boat, May? Sounds like competing, meh, to me. No. No. All right, here we go. Pretty soon, I will automatically change to you. Clap. Claps in chat. Claps in chat.
An ad is about to start in 5,000 milliseconds on Twitch. There's an ad running for 90.
Lost the headphone. Woo! Happy Friday, happy Friday. Welcome into the Clarkio Shenanigans Show. We're just getting started here. Fire dance. Oh, just kidding. All right. Hey, happy Friday. Welcome to Clarkio Shenanigans Show. I'm your host, Clarkio, if you didn't know this already. And we have some fun in store for today. I'm going to use this face to change scenes. going to happen today, I believe. Do you believe? Let me know in the chat. We have until 3 p.m. Eastern time, hence why you might notice we started a little earlier. But we waited for you to get here at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time because that's what you expect. That's what you expect. But we're ahead of the game because now we just chatted. We shared wins of the week. If you have wins of the week to share still, feel free to share them in the chat. We'll celebrate together. Love to hear the good stuff. Starting off on a positive note with the stream. And we'll go from there. But right now we're going to do Wordle. And then I can catch up on chats. I am down by 1 point. 1 point. It's 5-6. 5-6, chat. Refresh just to be safe. We'll always start with farts, even though that's typically not fair, but this time around it is fair because we got A, we got S, we got T. Why did I say in that order? I don't know. But ATS. Okay, so we got 3 out of the 5 letters, and we know F and R are not in it. So is it stale? STALE. Send it. Oh, so close. All right, this is not good because I don't like when this happens because there's going to be so many options like stamp or stack or I don't know, other things like that are going to mess me up. So there's going to be so many options. Probability of me getting this on the next guess is I think is pretty low. I gotta try and well, it's definitely not staff. Nice try. Are you trying to trick me? Is that what you're trying to do? Sounds unfair to you, Roy Lisi. I don't think so. It would, you know, like if I guess stare, I can't do that. It could be stain. I like that guess because we got to find out if there's another. It could be stank.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, lacerated_digits.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for joining today,
Lacerated digits, I agree. With these types where you have the first 3, it usually takes 5 or 6 guesses. My mother-in-law texted me. She failed it because it ended up in this order. Wasabi, good to see you, buddy. How you been? Lacerated digits, Wasabi Dev. What are your wins of the week if you got one to share? No pressure, though. Love to hear it, though. Love to hear it. I usually pick a word that has 5 distinct letters that have not been guessed before. Yes, I agree. However, you just to give context for everybody that maybe isn't familiar, we have this ongoing game now where I have to guess it in 3 or less guesses, and that way I get a point. Otherwise, I'm competing against you all in chat. And if it takes me more than that, then you get a point. If I fail completely, you get 3 points. We haven't had that yet. So while I appreciate you helping me, and I'll take that help, you kind of don't want to. Because right now, I'm on a win streak where I've caught up to chat. Chat has 6 points. I have 5. So I'm probably going to go STAIN. Unique letters stain. I get what you're saying, Wasabi. You're like, I'm going to ignore STA and just make anything to get more letters out there to figure it out. While I go on hard mode. Hard mode where it's any revealed hints must be used in subsequent guesses. I like to do that as well. So just a heads up on that. Well, completely disregard my advice. It's awful. No, I'm not going to disregard. Actually, because I have hard mode enabled, I don't think it'll let me if I guessed like, I don't know, dance. I'm afraid to send it because then you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to open up like a incognito.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today's early death.
I'm gonna go with what this might be cheating though, right? All right, we'll test that after. I don't want you guys and gals to think I'm cheating. Don't send that. You are wasting 2 letters, A and E. Yeah, no, I know. Okay, I'm not gonna send that. Certainly, Dev, don't help me though, buddy. It's me against you all. I kind of want to go with stank ass. But I'm thinking more like stain. I'm going with that. Send stain. Come on. Oh! Oh, the streak ends. The win streak ends. Now it's all about damage control. It's all about damage control. No. Oh, no. Is it stack? Oh, no. Oh, no. Is it stash? Please, please, please be it. Yes! Oh, thank you. Thank you. Holy moly, that would have been bad. Woo! Okay, chat. All right. Hey. Sometimes you win, sometimes you... One of those days... this is... Rugmat in Discord. We share this in the Discord, by the way, if you're interested. We play pretty much daily with each other. For folks that are interested in it, you can join the Discord at clarkio.com/Discord or use the Discord command to get the invite there. And then go to the Wordle channel, which I'm going to show you right meow. Right here. So you can see Frackberg got it in 3 out of 6. Congrats, buddy. It probably helped that you had it in that order versus what Rugmat and I had here. Rugmat went blank on that one just to make sure, huh? One of those days, I'd be disappointed if I lost because I'm about to break my record for longest streak, 83 in 2 days. Ooh doggy. All right, so I'm gonna do pipe to hide it in there, conceal it, even though you all watched this anyway. Share my results there, and then we gotta update this message. Chat, you gained an extra point on the lead. Congrats on that. We're gonna update it now. Give you now 5-7. I had a chance to tie it up. I messed it up. Today was it was just a tough one. Save that. 5-7. Good job. Round of applause for you all, chat. Doing a great job. Doing a great job. You'll notice we also have a connections channel in here, which I'm not going to reveal this just yet. I feel like that might give away something. But it looks like actually both of you got blue and yellow today and failed on the green and purple. So it's probably a tricky one. We're going to have to try and figure this out together though, team. Okay? Going on to connections. Oh, I wanted to test out where'd that other private browser go? We wanted to see if it's not in hard mode. If I did, what did I do in here again? Did farts stale, and then I wanted to guess, make sure it's in hard mode. Oh, can only enable at the start of it. Dang it. Let's try again. Play. Hard mode. We're going farts, stale, and dance. I think it should not let me guess this. Yeah, first letter must start. So once you get them, you have to use them like wasabi. If I have to use it like that, I can't say like fast. Not in word list, but you get the idea. So hard mode does prevent you from making guesses without using the ones you figured out. All right, time for connections. All right, let's shuffle it up. I don't like using it in the order that they give it to us because I feel like that is intentionally put in a way to mess you up more. All right, so we got moccasin, slipper, loafer, croc, different types of shoes. What do you think, chat? Should I send it? All right, we're sending it. Okay, cool. Comfy shoes. Nice. Off to a good start. We got cobra, python, boa, and different snakes, right? There's a cobra, there's a python, there's a boa. Oh, but Python, like it looks like these are programming languages. Python, Basic, Ruby, Java. Python, Ruby, Java, and Basic. Basic's a or QBasic back in the day. I'm gonna send it. Okay, well now that explains why Frackberg and Rugmat got yellow and blue first like that. Yeah, you can help on this, Surly Dev. We do this together, and I put a little asterisk in the results in the Discord whenever you all help. We work together. Shuttlecock, that's in like badminton. This is tough. Inspiration, headdress, union, boa, headdress, pillow, shuttlecock. All have feathers. A boa? Pillow? Yeah, I can see pillow, headdress, like a hat. You're saying, right? And shuttlecock has feathers. What is a boa? Like boa constrictor, right? Surly Dev. Some explain that to me, please, if you don't mind, because I'm very confuzzled. Google feather boa. Okay. Okay, that explains that. Submit. Okay, things made with feathers. Good call. All right, we got it. What is this going to be, though? Like a scarf. Nice job, Surly Dev. Huge win there. Union and Cobra? What a combination. I don't understand what that combination is. Do we have any guesses on what it might be? Beers? Any other guesses? Things that strike you? Healthcare? What's up, Nightcoder? Good to see you, buddy. I'm going to submit it. Things that can strike you. Hey, you were right, Lacerated Digits. Well done, well done. You got blue. That's all that matters, right? Yeah. That's what Rugmat said in chat in Discord there. All right, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to get up and stretch, and then we're going to jump into working on my face. Okay? BRB. Don't go anywhere. You're surprised I didn't get blue first? Yeah. I saw the moccasin and that stuff all together in loafer. They were close to each other, so that's why. All right, be right back, chat.
An ad is about to start in 5,000 milliseconds on Twitch. There's an ad running for 180. Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Marcus Voice Coder.
And we're back. It was good because I went and got my water too. I forgot I left it out in the kitchen. Hey, Marcus Voice Coder. Good to see you, buddy. Welcome in. Happy to have you here. Coach Sean watch streak reached 3 stream streak. Thank you for that. I think I might have missed other people's. I forgot to mention. So we got Roy Lisi's earlier. May is up to a 3 stream streak. And Frackberg. Frackberg is up to 15. That is a lot of Fridays, buddy. I appreciate that so much. Also, Rython Dev, the developer behind the Pomodoro task list thingy, little widget that I've used, followed off stream. Appreciate that. Thank you, Rython, if you check this out later. And thank you for your work on that the to-do list. Roy says, oh, welcome back. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Glad to have you all here. Appreciate these streaks that you have. Means a lot to me. Boy's more of a shoe guy than a developer, Roy Lisi. I'd kind of agree with that. Although I don't have a loafer or a moccasin. I don't have a croc. Any of those, what were those again? What were those connections? Croc, loafer, moccasin. I have slipper. In fact, I have one right here. I don't have it on. But it's right next to my desk here. You have a different kind of streak. I don't know where you're going with that, but the anticipation is killing me. Roy says, also, you should make a manual overwrite for cases like that one where you stare middle on the look thing. Oh, when I do this, you mean? You're talking about when we get into this? Speaking of getting into this, let's do it. Oh, got connected again. All right, so I've been working with this off stream. One thing, while this is loading up, actually, I'll catch you all up on what I've done off stream, okay? So last stream, I'm sorry I'm blanking on who recommended this last week, but somebody came into the chat and said, hey, have you checked out Human library? It's an AI-powered 3D face detection, rotation tracking, da-da-da-da. This thing is phenomenal. I'm going to show you. So basically, I started out with if you all recall from last stream, we were working with Face API, which is good. I think it's fantastic and it can work. It probably could work fine, but I was like, let me try this out. AI's the new hotness, right? And let's see how well it does. And I kind of want to do a comparison at some point too, but I got the AI one working essentially. And what's nice about the AI one is like all that manual work we did to set up a video stream in the browser and then connecting a canvas to draw over the top of that. And it was kind of like the Face API one actually is not as, I think it can possibly get to this level, but you'll see it only, if you recall from last stream, you know what, let's just do this. Instead of me rambling on about it, let's go to youtube.com/clarkio to check it out. If we look at live from last week, we take a little snippet of when that was working. So let's make this full screen. Give me the better quality, please. 1080p 60. So you can see it draws the face like that. Okay, so remember this, that we got it working like that, which was cool. That was great, and I liked it a lot. But I don't know that the result data, when it's detecting, when we were reading the detections variable, what was available inside of that, I don't know if it had all the data we could use, because we need various pieces of data to more accurately confirm that I'm looking at that camera versus maybe just glancing at it quick, or it's just a side view, that type of thing, right? And so we were starting to get into that at the end of the stream. We were starting to get into how can we make it more accurate, because we got it to where it was like detecting a face, but it wasn't always like when I was actually looking at it and had the camera had my attention, let's say, right? So I kind of off stream, what I've done since then was two things. One, I started setting it up so that I could do more than one video feed. So knowing that I'm having multiple cameras, I needed to enable that and be able to track the video stream from each camera that I have set up. So I started adding that into the HTML, but on top of that, I've switched over to using this human AI one. I still have the face API stuff in here. So if you look at the source code, I'll bump it up a little bit, make it a little bit easier to see. I could still show the face API one because that's still here and working. However, I also added a subfolder for the human one, and we're going to check that out and see how that runs. So I'm going to do Control-Shift-P, open up live server to host this for me. And then you'll see it opens up like this because now I have folder structure. But if I go to the /human, you'll notice I have, it's small right now, but you can add cameras, remove cameras. That doesn't fully work right now. Those buttons are just kind of placeholders. Add camera works, but remove doesn't. You can choose camera number 1. So it enumerates over the devices that the browser has access to or can see. This is my main camera right here. I say start playing the camera. It should, great. It's tapping into my video feed and you could see it. And then I could say start tracking, which will turn on the human library to start tracking and detect my face. Now I'll make it a little bit smaller because at the bottom under here is where it should add the actual tracking. Now this is the difference with Face API. You see it does like a mesh covering. It has drawings of arrows of where the gaze is, where I'm looking, and it's kind of hard to see, but oh, this is the cool part. If I click on it, it basically freezes it at that point. You can see the video stops. What a face to make, right? But if you look closely in here, you can see it says, all right, here's where the face is. That's the face box. The confidence level that is a detected face, 100%. It guesses gender, age. Hey, Amilanite, great to see you. Happy Friday. What's your win of the week if you got one to share? It guesses age, which very generous that I still look so young. Gaze, 24 degrees. So like what's the angle of my eyes looking, I guess. Liveliness, like how alive do I look? The distance I am from the camera, 90 centimeters, which I don't know how accurate that is, but anyway, the point, and sentiment, you can see happy, the like percent sad, percent neutral, percent happy, and then the tilt and yaw and angle of my head in relation to the camera feed, right? So it's kind of crazy, all that data that you have and you're able to see just from this. Now, can you get that from Face API? Maybe, but like this was way more simple for me to set up. This is a real Big Brother stuff. Yeah, Marcus, you're not wrong about that. So that's nice. That's a lot of great feature and functionality, which is why for those of you that have a keen eye, you might have seen I started doing this where I was testing it out on each camera. So camera 1 being main camera 2 being the side camera to just off to the right of that for me, your left, and then my left, your right is the GoPro sitting on my desk. Now, I haven't tested that one out yet, but we're going to do that today. So the idea was, I'm calling it attention. So when they say liveness, live, if we go back in here, this value right here, I noticed that the more I'm like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed looking at the camera, the higher this liveness number is. And when I'm not looking at it, it gets lower. Not significantly, but it's enough to like use as an indicator for me. So there's a face detection, that's the first indicator. The confidence level is the second indicator, and then the liveness is the third indicator that I'm kind of using here. And that's why this is the face score, the score overall of the face detection, the face score. These usually line up to be the same, but I'm figuring I'm going to use those two measurements, and then the attention level, which I'm calling it attention, but it's the liveness, really, the live. And that's what's happened since I last stream. Okay, I want to test it out again. I'm going to show you. Oh, I got to show you the other cameras working at the same time. So we'll let this run, do its thing. I'm going to say add camera, which will add another div down here. I'm going to choose HDMI 3, which is that side camera, and boom, we got that now. And it can start tracking separately on that. So when I'm looking at this one versus at that one, you can see, and I can pause that as well. Liveness is now 91%. Confidence it's a face is 70 or 100%. Still 28 and a half years old. That's awesome. And yeah. So I kind of did that measurement. Now, so the next step basically, and I have the code kind of written in this way to figure that out, or to use these measurements to some degree. What I need to do where I last left off is make these configurable for each camera in the UI. Because so right now you could see, like I was trying to at least print it out to the screen or the website, what the liveness number is. So in this case, you could see it was 99 right there, and that matches it, 0.99. That's a decimal place at least. So I wanna basically add a field that says, okay, what's the threshold you want for attention level, the threshold you want for confidence, and face, face score and score confidence. And that way I can configure it for each camera, because each camera is going to be different. Like this one, I'm certain distance away from it versus this one, and different angle too. And depending on how I'm moving when I'm dancing around, that's going to mess with things too. I'm a little worried how that might work. We're going to test it out today. Sound cool? Milo Knight says roll. Ooh. Or no, Mark Roy Lisi says that. Milo Knights, well, not this week, but I completed my very first professional dev job as a volunteer by contributing to James Q Quick open source platform. That is awesome to hear. Congrats on that. Thank you for sharing. James Q Quick is awesome. A friend of the channel. He's raided us a few times. I think you've joined in on those raids probably too. And he's got a nice community. Learn, build, teach. I almost forgot the last one. So cool stuff. Thank you for sharing it, Mile Night. So that's where I left off, and now the hope is between now and 3 p.m. Eastern time, or let's say 2:45 to start winding down so we can close things out and find somebody to raid. We got an hour and 40 minutes to get this to trigger OBS scene changes, which we've done before. I have that in another bot, or I've written in another bot, so I can take that code and apply it to this. However, I don't know how I'm going to do it. So all of this, something to consider, there's no server. This is all running in the browser, and I want to keep it that way for the most part. And so I got to see, I should be able to use WebSockets from the browser to connect directly to the OBS server. So we'll see about that. The only thing is I might have to conceal at least like the setup of the OBS connection, WebSocket connection, the password to that, so that I don't reveal it on stream type of thing. So just a heads up on that, chat, if you see me hide my screen a lot. But I haven't tested yet. Let's see if I can. I want to test out adding a third camera and using that on the GoPro, which might be, I think it's this one. It is. Oh, yeah. So we need to see what the value is when I'm looking at the GoPro, because this one's going to be a little bit trickier, right? Because one, it's a fisheye type of angle that it has, right? And two, I'm not right in the center of it. I'm off to the side. So when I'm looking, you know what I mean? Like when I look at it and I'm dancing like this, it's got to take into that into consideration, and the microphone, right? So let's see how it does. Let's start tracking it. We'll pause these other ones for now to save resources. Let's start tracking on this one. All right, so when I'm not looking at it, it's pretty confident. Look at that, 100%. What was the liveness though? I should pause it. Live is 99%. I need another. That's not going to be like, if you look at what I'm using for the measurements for these other ones, the attention at, I mean, it's already high for this angle. Oops. It's already high. 99% there. See that? Now it's making me older. Confidence is 100% too. What could possibly go wrong? What do you mean? MileNet says, that's pretty cool. I started reading more about browser stuff, and there are so many stuff built in. Oh, you mean if I going back to, yes, you're right. MileNet, sorry, my brain's just all over the place. Yes. I like to just do it right in the browser. And the other thing is it's happening locally because it's using TensorFlow JS behind the scenes as part of the human library. So it shouldn't be sending any of these images off to a server like that one WebGaze one. So the full story behind this, when we first, somebody had pointed me to, because I was talking about this idea, they pointed me to like WebGaze, and I tried checking that out, and it was great. It was looking cool. However, it was sending the images to some server that's the developer that created the whole thing owns. And I was like, nah, I'm not having that. Not that I have anything against that person. I just don't want images of me, any more images than I already sent, because I didn't realize it at first, on their devices that they control. You know. Roll and gaze seem to be the correct things to look at. You think so? Well, gaze I can get. Actually, oh, I forgot. I started looking at that on my laptop. Although it should be in the code here. No, not that. In here, I think. I think I started adding stuff to check the gaze. Let me look at the diff that I have right now. Oh, well, what I started to do was, being that, so originally when I wrote the code, I did it for just one camera. And basically you have to instantiate a new human object and or class, which then has all of the members or properties off of that. And so if I basically need to create one for each camera to analyze the different video feeds. So what I started doing was I created an array of cameras that keeps track of all the stuff that I was keeping track of. So like, is face looking, face attention level, that type of thing. So I thought I started adding though that I started logging at least the gaze, right? Yeah, there it is. Gaze bearing. I started logging that at least. So I guess if I look at the logs, yeah, you can see the logs. Camera 3, detection gaze result is 1. So I got to try and figure out what's the pattern in here to determine the gaze. All these are paused still? Okay, good. You see I'm logging it all. So when I'm looking at it, the gaze is at 88 degrees. Which, how does that get translated? So this is the actual result. How does that get translated to degrees? Live went to 91%. When I'm not looking at it, what is it at? Doesn't always detect me either, so that's good. It's saying face 0. You see the array, face array? Detection result 0. Live is 99%. Gaze is -70. When I look up, what is it? Gaze is 43. So it's like, it's not, I don't know what the correct measurement I should use to detect a face. What do you think? MileNet says, damn, that's pretty suspect. Are you talking about the WebGaze JS tool I was talking about earlier, where it gets sent to somebody else's server? Yeah. Well, I think they just use this server to do the to do the math and the calculations and send the result back to the browser. So I don't think they were doing anything nefarious or malicious. It's just I don't want to deal with that. So here's like when it detects a face, here's all the face details it provides. Where'd that go? So it gives you an array of, because it can detect more than one faces, the age, the annotations. Annotations consider left cheek. I don't know how to read this necessarily, you know, like left cheek, left eye lower 2, whatever that means. Lips, nose tip, you know. 29.4. I knew you were a youngin'. Keeps changing though. Even with my beard, I'm glad that it's considering me younger than I am. So I think gaze is really just, are my eyes looking up or down? You know what I mean? Like positive degrees, negative degrees. And with each camera, that's going to differ. Yours would probably say 90. I don't know about that. Would it work if the eyes were on the same level? I don't know. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to as well. I don't know if I'm going to be able to detect a face attention, like looking at a camera, as well as I can with these other cameras right now. Because these ones, it's a little bit more distinct. Although right now, look at this. It says 100% live, 98% confidence. Somehow it knows the arrows, though. You know what I mean? Off the eye. Right there. Why is it, and saying gaze at that point is 62 degrees. It's saying it thinks you're alive. Yeah. Would it work if the eyes were on the same level? Da, da, da. Roll and gaze seem to be the correct thing. Roy says, I mean, in games, you'd use roll, yaw, and pitch to get the facing. Yeah, maybe we can analyze what that looks like. Let's start printing that out instead of what we have. Where are we? We got here. So if I do, what's the details? The data look like on? Oh man, every time I make a change, it resets. I should have it. They have a wiki. Wait, wiki. Where's your wiki? Wiki, Wild West, Jim West, Desperado, Rough Rider. Oh, you don't want nada. None of this. 6 gun in this, brother running this. Just like I told you. 500 soldier. Where is the API? Documentation. Where is the API? Like this thing is crazy. Like it can do 3D renderings of your face too, if you wanted to go that far. It could do full body detection. It could do hand gesture detection. You know? Where is it? I always forget the link. They have it like detailed usage. Yeah, this is what I want. List of all full API specification, which brings me to that. Yes, this is what I want. Okay, and I wanted to look at result, face result, and in face result, maybe we want rotation, angle. This is way gaze, bearing, and strength. Ooh, maybe strength is the number we want to look at. What's tensor? What's a rank? So you want to change scenes by doing face gestures? No, just when I know. Basically, I need to accurately detect when I'm looking at this camera or looking at that camera or the GoPro, right? That's essentially what I need it to determine, that I'm looking at it and not just it sees my face. You know what I mean? Yeah. And looking at the data that's available to us based on a face result, I'm trying to determine which of these measurements that it provides can, in combination, can I use to more accurately determine when I'm actually looking at the camera, facing the camera, right? And maybe it's going to be rotation. I think we just print these out and like compare the results from when I'm looking at the camera versus when I'm not, and see if there's like a clear distinction that we can put in as a threshold, you know? Because right now I thought, and I mean, it kind of works and it can be okay if I use face score, overall score, and live, which is liveness result confidence. Like, how alive do I look? Because the more I'm looking at it, the more alive does it get. So yeah, maybe box score too. All right, so let's try logging box score, rotation angle, pitch. Let's do box score first. So we got
welcome in and thanks for joining today.
What's up, JT? Good to see you, buddy. Got a win of the week to share with us? We don't want gaze. We want, let's say, box score. Detection box score result. And then in addition to that, we want to go rotation, angle, pitch. Or we could just log, let's log gaze. And then in this one, we're going to say rotation, angle. We'll just get the whole object instead of each piece. And let's say angle. Win of the week, recovered from the COVID on Monday. Hey, glad to hear that, JT. Sean says, did you already do words on stream? No, not yet, buddy. Today is an abbreviated stream. I got to end at 3 p.m. on the dot Eastern. So I jumped into it fairly quickly, but I haven't eaten lunch yet. So when I eat lunch, we'll play words on stream. Also, thank you for the 3 stream streak again. JT says, didn't even realize I had it last week. Much fun. Yeah. Sorry to hear that, but I'm glad you recovered. What's the name of the library I'm using? It's called Human. I'll drop the link in the chat. Well, here's the link. Let me go back. Let me drop it in the chat for everybody to check out if they'd like. It's a weird rendering. What happened there? It's like the CSS didn't load. We can close that. Go back to... Close that. Go back to here. So I think this is what we're going to do. Let's see how it works. Let's do it with just the main camera for now. Start playing that camera. Start tracking that camera. And then look at the logs. So when I'm not looking, pause. Let's look at the detection results. We're getting no detections. Here's one detection. Oh, detection angle is object. Dang it. So we got to change it to be console.log. And then I need a console.dir it. Do that. Pull this out. And then console.dir. Yeah. Exactly. Get up Copilot. Good job. Pull this out. Say console.dir box score. Right, come back here. Start her up again. Wrong camera. You see that? Isn't that a nice little feature I got in there? I built this out myself. All right, start tracking. Okay. Hasn't detected a face yet. Now it has. This is me not looking. Okay. Let's see the results we got. All right, detection angle. Negative. Why is it still logging result object like that? Here's the angle again. Box score is 0.72. What's the box score here? 0.72. Maybe we need box score to be higher. All right, let's take note of this though, okay? Can I copy these results? Let's copy these. Come back over here. Cam 1 not looking measurements. We got that. Why did it do it like that? We got that, and then box score was what, 72 or 0.72 for the most part. That's just one sample, but it seems like most of them are in that range. We got 0.07, 0.12, and 1.3. 0.07, 0.15, 1.3, right? Similar, very close in values, I would say, between those two samples. Let's get the third one real quick. 0.09, 0.06. So like less than 0.005, let's say, on pitch. Then roll is 0.12, negative 0.12, negative 0.15, negative 0.11. So anything less than that, again, I'm just assuming, because when I'm looking at it, maybe the roll and pitch is going to be more positive instead of a negative number, maybe. And then yaw. Did I get 3 results? I got 1, 2. Let's copy them all. Let's say result 1, result 2. Like that. Box score is probably going to be, I think it's pretty consistent. It was 0.72 on it, right? What we can do is move this here and make this a bit bigger. Oh, I don't think you alt-tabbing. So last one, 0.72. Second to last one, 0.72. Third to last one, 0.72. Box score 0.72. Result 3. Paste this in. Do a little. Oh, didn't mean to do that. VS Code action here. Multi cursor. I'm gonna delete it. Delete it. Delete it. Colon space. All right. So now we have this data. We can maybe get an average of, essentially, or see a pattern, right? That was result 1, 2, and 3. So now when I'm looking, cam 1 looking measurements, we're going to take 3 results again. Result 1, result 2, and result 3. Got an ad coming up in about 2 minutes. So let's see if we can just get these results, capture them, and then take a little quick break. All right, coming back in here. So now we're going to clear this. I'm going to be looking at it, and then I'll pause it. All right, so we got box score 0.69. Box score 0.69, great number. Pitch, roll, and yaw. Looks like it might be the same or close to the same. I don't know how I feel about that. It's lesser. So 0.01 to 0.06 on the pitch. Oh, well, let's get more of them actually before I jump the gun here. Detection angle is 0.069 again. Pitch. Do that. Box score 0.69. Similar accuracy. Maybe we got to go like 3 or 4 decimal places in on that, you know? yaw. You see yaw is the difference? Big difference. Oh, big difference in yaw. Yeah. You might be able to skip roll, since you roll the head while dancing. Yeah, it's true. So maybe it's yaw. The yaw seems very different. Remember, this is when I'm looking. The yaw seems significantly different, where it's like this is -1 point something versus not even that. Yaw would be the turning your head left to right, and pitch would be up and down. Okay. Should make note of that. So pitch is looking up and down. Yaw is looking left, or turning. It's not looking, is turning head up and down, is turning head left and right. Thank you for that. Appreciate that, Roy Lisi, looking that up. So we'd probably want more yaw, since we're worried about
An ad is about to start
that.
at 5,000.
All right, let's take a quick break.
On Twitch. There's an ad running for 90.
We'll be right back, chat.
An ad is about to start in 5,000 milliseconds on Twitch. There's an ad running for 180.
This just became a job.
All right. I'm back. PBJ time. Game dev helps lots, I suppose. Minecraft for the win. My bot for Minecraft used pitch and yaw heavily. Okay, that's good to hear. Yeah. JT, thank you so much for the 49 months. Resub, buddy. Appreciate that continued support. And that's a heckin' long time. Mamma mia. Let's do a quick stretch, too, while we're at it, since we're on a little pause here. So, a little stretch break. Let's go over to the gym. All right, folks, follow along at home. Feel free to do the sitting down, standing up. Heckin' long time. Yep. Arms back, parallel to the floor. Pull them back behind your back a little bit like that. Okay. You thumbs up, fingers clasped into your hand like you're doing a thumbs up like this. Okay. Got it. And then you're going to rotate those thumbs down. Ooh. Rotate them back up. Rotate them back down. Ooh. Feels good. Feels good. You showed that to some coworkers, Releasey, and they bet it wouldn't hurt. They lost for sure. Yeah, that's funny. That's awesome to hear. All right, and then you're gonna push your hands towards each other, back to back. Bend at the wrist a little bit, stretch them out, do a little carpal tunnel there. You know, working on the carpal tunnel. Coach One says, I was in the kitchen getting some food. I have my headphones on. I started dancing a little when I heard, nice, Coach One. That's awesome to hear, man. I need to get me some wireless headphones for this computer. Now, you might be thinking, you're looking at the ones that I have on, and you're like, hey, those are wireless headphones. Yes. However, the audio configuration I have for this machine, I'm using a Go XLR as my audio interface that controls like all the different sounds, and the only way I can hear like everything accurately, the way it's, especially when I'm streaming, and is by hooking up headphones to the audio output jack on this device. And I need something that can connect to that. Actually, you know what? I do have a thing that plugs into a jack like that and converts it to a Bluetooth signal. I might be able to just do that with these. You made me think. Although the batteries are going on this, I don't think it doesn't really hold the charge too well anymore. The ones I'm wearing now are bone conducting, but my over the ear headphones are E7 and are awesome. Yeah, I got you. That's cool. Yeah. So I mean, these are like headphones I use when I want to like really hear distinct sounds and get more surround sound type of feeling, or like when I'm gaming, that type of thing. These ones are wireless as well, but you can see I use them wired. And again, I can't use those wirelessly because it's like a separate USB device that I would hook up to, just like a Bluetooth for these. And it's I'd have to add more software to like channel the audio interface. It would just degrade the quality, and it'd be delayed too, I think, to try and hear the audio from the audio interface through headphones wirelessly like that versus connecting directly to it, you know. Rackberg says, so nice when doing dumb stuff on my bike. I love my your BC headphones. The bone conducting ones can really hear the cars honking at me when I run stop signs. Nice. Yeah, we talked about this last stream, didn't we? I love that you're a cyclist that runs stop signs. That's very, very kind of you. All right, let's get back into it. So we were capturing some more of these results. We captured this first one, the second one, and let's get a third one for posterity. Oh, look at the pitch. It's zero. I guess it's yeah, that is pretty close to zero right there. So on this one, it was like 0 on the pitch. Wowzers. And then box score was 69 again, 0.69. Interessante. Yeah. Oh, hold on. All right, it's lunchtime. So we're going to pause again. I have leftover from lunch yesterday. Chicken parm and pasta. Chicken parmigiana. All right, so we have 3 of these to analyze, though, and kind of see if there's any distinctions to help indicate when I'm looking. And that's just for this camera versus the other camera. So we'll have to get those measurements as well. We'll do that in just a moment. For now, while I'm eating lunch, though, we are going to play Words on Stream. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you've never played Words on Stream before, it's a fun game that we work together as a team to come up with words using the letters on the screen. All you have to do is type your answers in the chat and you'll see your name pop up. Now, one thing to keep in mind When you guess a word correctly using the letters that are on the screen, you get locked from guessing again because it's part of the challenge of the game. That way, you cannot answer everything so quickly and make it up to higher levels. You'll see. So the more people that play, the better for us as a team, so we can get to a higher level. Our record, because of some Words on Stream professionals that have joined the stream before, is level 61. Will we ever beat that? I think so, maybe. Today? I don't know. Possibly. Don't forget the mirror link. I got you. I got you. All right. So we're going to play this while I eat my lunch, because we're on a little lunch breaky now. Do I have the lunch break sign in here? I do. Look at that. Boom. Lunch break. And I will share. Here's messages in the chat so you can see what other people are guessing. Now, here's the thing. Another bit of advice for folks that aren't familiar with playing, haven't played this before. It is exactly, Code with Sean's beat me to it. If you get locked because you guessed the word correctly, you can throw other ideas for words for other people to guess. We work as a team. So if you have something like that, add that little less than sign there to indicate for other people to copy that and use it, okay? Because maybe they can't think of a word themselves, or they're not locked at the moment. They haven't guessed another word. They can use that, paste it in, they get credit for it. Boom, we're winning. We're going on to the next level, okay? It's a whole chat team event. We can help each other. Exactly, Code with Sean. All right, I'm going to share what's called the mirror link. That's what May is asking for here in the chat. That is so you all can play the game locally. You go to the website, essentially, the exact of this game, and you can see the results of it faster than waiting for it to come through the stream in the stream delay. However, you should pay attention to the chat, which is where you're going to be sending your answers, because that will help you make more guesses, okay? There you go. May started with Lane. Fane? Flannel? How do you spell flannel? Fallen. Nice job. So Fallen. We know all the words and letters here. So talking about locked, okay? If you didn't know, that progress bar right now, Code with Sean, May, and Emile and I are locked until that progress bar in the center, up there. This one right here. Every padlock that you get to, it unlocks you and you can guess again. Lane. We got Lane. Fail. Fall. Nice. Fane. Nail. Neil. Flan. Fall. Fiend. Feln. Falm. Elon. I don't know how that's a word. Did we get fell, fall, lail, lafe, afe, leo, feel, flee, flen. Oh, we got another 5-letter word. Fallon. Fennel? Fennel. I don't know. All right, I'm going to keep eating, though. Nice job, Chad, on the first round. Good job skipping 3 levels. Boom, boom, boogie. Continua. Pretty good job, chat. Nice job, chat. I'm surprised none of you took that. Nice job. Level 11 coming right up. Big shout out to May, Coach Sean, Marcus, myself, Roy Lisi, and the Milenites. Got this. Let's keep it going. GG's. Kicking my butt. What? May's kicking your butt. we just got fake letter, right? F is fake? Yeah, because fail should work, right? Yeah, F is fake. F is fake. Well, now we have all the letters. Social. S-O-C-I-A-L. Oh. This is hard, though. What other words can you make from this? Silo. Coals. Coals. Coal. And coals. That should work. We got coils. Somebody do coil. We got coil. Foil. Oh no, there's no F. Coals. Yep. Oh man, what's another word? Scale. Oh, nice job, Code with Sean. That was a tough one. Continue. All right, we're still dealing with fake letter wing. That worked. Q is probably fake, I would guess. Ting should work. Gain. Wayne. Waiting. Twang, nice. Waiting. Twain. Is that one maybe? Twain. Yep, that worked. Okay. Nat, nice job, Nat. Awning. Maybe tanning. T-A-N-I-N-G. Copy those words. Oh, it's two N's. Maybe one N would work though. No. Wanting. Got it. Somebody do want. There we go. 89 out of 87. Now it's all icing on the cake. We still didn't do Nat. Here we go, Nat. Got twin. Gaunt? Gain? Gain? Gain, yep. Waint? What? Ting? Want? Hey, nice job. Skipping 2 levels on that one as well. Level 14, here we go. Ooh, we got hidden letter now. Moist. Toil. Mint. I think T is fake. Mine. Owen. Omen. Maybe Mino. Ione? You know? T is fake. T is fake. We gotta find this hidden letter. Night. Gnome. M-I-E-N. Lomain. Lomine. Mind. Oh, that's a good guess. Motion. Oh. Onion. Oh, what is it? C. Mice. Mince. Don't mince words. Cone. Somebody do mince. And sight. Sight. Ow. Good try, good try. All right, we'll play. We only have like an hour left. I would play Gartic after this, but being that I'm constrained with time, I'm done eating. Let's jump right back into coding, okay, chat? Sorry, but nice job. Hey, round of applause for everybody. Level 14. That's good job. Good job considering how much we had 6 players. 6 players today. May, Code with Sean, myself, Marcus, Voice Coder, Roy Lisa, and Mylonite. Thank you for playing today. Hope you enjoyed it. Glad we got to level 14. That's decent. That's higher than average, I would say, for us on a typical week. So, nice job. On that note, though, we're going to close that out and get back to business. No longer on lunch break. Let's turn that off. GG. Good games. Good games. Good games. All right. So where we left off was we were capturing measurements on camera 1 in the pitch, roll, yaw, box score. If you're just tuning in, what I'm trying to do is detect when I'm looking at. I have 3 different cameras set up right now. This is the main camera, and I want to detect when I look at each camera. I'm trying to figure out how to accurately determine that using the human AI library in the browser. And then what the next step would be is to get that to switch scenes in OBS for me. However, I don't know that that's going to be accurate because while it works fine on one camera, like the main camera, I feel like I can accurately detect when I'm looking at the camera. I don't get that sense that I can determine that based on the measurements at the other cameras. So, I mean, we could try still. We could try. What I want to do is essentially analyze what we were just looking at and see if there's a distinguishing measurement. I think in particular we're going to be talking about, since we know pitch is turning head up and down, we want to mostly focus on yaw. We want pitch to probably between, in terms of looking up and down, we want it to be as close to 0 as possible. So essentially we want, you know, that would determine that I'm looking at the camera, right? So want pitch to be as close as possible to 0 pitch value. And then yaw, want yaw left and right. We want that to be as close to 0 as possible too, right? To be as close to 0 as possible, because that would indicate I'm looking straight on, right? Pitch should count on the last camera, on camera 3. So we got camera 1, okay, camera 2, and then camera 3. So what I'm thinking is what we could do is, regardless of what these are, we kind of want them as close to 0 as possible. I just wonder if we can get that, given camera 3's angle, it's a GoPro and it's fisheye. I don't know how well that's going to work out. I might have to just reposition this camera a bit more. Be like out. I'm always going to be in that spot though on the camera. That's the thing. It's just a difference of whether it's more to my left or not. Because in order to get it really perfectly, like, so this one is like perfectly perpendicular to me here. You can see, right? So I would have to get like a stand. You can see the GoPro is right there. I'd have to get a stand off the... Actually, I have a little snack table or whatever you call them. TV dinner table. I don't use it for that purpose. I could maybe set that up next to it. I don't know if the wires go far enough. I could try that, but typically where I'm keeping it is here. Elgato teleprompter? No, although I would want that. Thank you, Frackberg, for the 1 hour warning, by the way. I think I would like the Elgato teleprompter better than what I have right now. What I have, I'll show you. This is bigger. I like that it's bigger. I'm using an old iPad as the teleprompter. There's an app called Duet that you can use an iPad as an extra monitor, basically. So I have that wired into the desktop, which is behind it there. And then I use it as an extra monitor. And the Duet app has a teleprompter mode, and it reflects off the glass where the camera is inside of there. So that's how that works. Yep. Okay. So I think knowing what these are now, we want these to be as close as 0. And so we would say we want like pitch to be at least greater than negative 0.0, let's say 5, but less than, I don't think pitch is ever more than that, but less than 1, you know? So less than 1, but greater than 0.05, I don't know. Or maybe 0.5, greater than 0.5. Or, all right, so, no, sorry, less, I'm thinking backwards. Less than like 0.1, negative 0.1. No, 0.1. Less than 0.1, but greater than 0.05, negative 0.05. That, so, that was pitch, right? So range could possibly be 0.1, so it's less than that value, but it's greater than negative 0.05, right? And then for yaw, when I'm looking at it, what was yaw? Yaw was close to 0, right? Yeah. So we want pretty much similar. We could start off like that maybe and tweak it. So we want range to be for yaw less than 0.1 but greater than negative 0.05. What do you think, chat? Have you thought about asking ChatGPT? I mean, that's how I started out doing this, actually. You could do that. Let's ask it. Let me get it set up. I think I had... Start a new chat with it. Give me just a second. Also, the other thing I want to do is transition table for OBS really quick. I'm going to do this on the fly. From any to... What's this scene? Screen left, dip, that one. Not move. Stinger. Set. Close. Alright, so now if I'm in talk, so I don't know if you've noticed that. I was typically, in order for this to go smoothly, I would have to go to this scene first and then switch to this. But now I should be able to go directly to that one. Okay, without it worrying. Because it would try to use the move transition instead of that stinger transition. Anyway. Alright, so. Hey there. I'm using the... And I want ChatGPT 4 on this one. I'm using the... Wow! That scared me a little bit. Human AI library to try and detect when a face is looking at a camera. Here is the library's GitHub repository. It's face detection, or the libraries. Let me make it a little bit bigger so you can see too. Move it up a little bit. The library's face detection data is as follows. We need to get this. Where am I? What would be the best data points to use to determine if a face that's detected by the library is looking at the camera versus not looking at the camera? Let's see what it says. I should have said directly, right? It's fine though. All right, to determine if a detected face is looking at the camera using human library, the most relevant data points. Rotation angle. The angle property contains pitch, roll, yaw. Yeah, okay. Pitch indicates up or down. A pitch close to 0 would suggest that the face level is level with the camera. Roll and gaze. Bearing. Bearing provides a direction where the gaze is pointing. A bearing close to 0 would suggest the gaze is direct forward towards the camera. Strength should indicate the confidence or intensity of the gaze. Higher values might suggest a more direct gaze. Okay. A face is looking directly at the camera if the pitch and yaw angles are close to 0, and if the roll is also close to 0, indicating the face is upright. Gaze direction, bearing. Implementation data. That's pretty good. Gaze you can avoid, I think, as it's looking if your eyes are pointing at the camera. Yeah, I think gaze is more about whether it's up or down.
Today, Mr. 11.
What's up, Mr. 11? How's it going? Welcome in over on YouTube watching there. Thank you for popping in and saying hi. What did it say? You may need to define thresholds of what constitutes close to 0 for these values, as perfect alignment is unlikely due to natural head movements and postures. Experiment with different thresholds to find a balance between accuracy and tolerance for natural variation. Consider the context and precision you need. For example, if you're trying to determine attention in a classroom setting, you might allow for a wider range of angles compared to a biometric verification, right, which is what I'm doing. By combining these checks, you can effectively determine whether the detected face is looking at the camera. Nuanced understanding of face orientation and gaze direction, leverage, and the detailed data. Yep. Let me know what you're doing now. I'm new. Well, welcome in, Mr. 11. Happy to tell you what we're doing now. So I'm currently working on a project that's using this library called Human, which you can get the link to right here. I'm going to drop it in the chat right now. And what I'm essentially doing is trying to determine when I'm looking at a camera. And the reason why I want to do that is so that I can, because I have 3 different cameras hooked up around me right now. This is my main camera. Then I have a secondary camera here, and then the third camera over here. Okay. And what I want to do is when I start my stream, Mr. 11, I do a goofy dance basically. But I'm manually switching those, doing quick cuts, hard cuts to those different camera angles. And I want to be able to just have it automatically happen when I look at the camera and I go, boom, 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 you know, like that type of thing. So that's the end goal. And I feel like we're mostly there. What we're working on right now in particular in that is figuring out what is the most accurate data points to use to make that determination when I'm looking at a camera. Boom. Yes, mate. Boom. Marcus says, now ask it to write the code. Excellent. can you now share some example code using that library that which implements the guidance you shared for determining, and I'm using ChatGPT to help me figure this out, in case you were wondering, Mr. Levin. Okay, that's interesting. I'm glad to hear that. Hope you hang out and stick around. If not, this is all recorded, so you can watch the recordings on the YouTube channel later on if you'd like. Which implements the guidance you shared for determining when a face is looking directly at a camera. What language are you using for that? I'm trying to... Well, I'm using JavaScript. That's the short answer. And if you're wondering why, it's because... I'll show you. While it's doing that, I'll show you. I want to do it all browser-based, and JavaScript's the best bet for me. I don't want to do anything on the server. Why isn't it stopping? Oh, that's why. I got to click on that. I don't want to do anything on... You can see what the AI is doing right now. Well, the library that uses TensorFlow to do face tracking and stuff like that. What it's doing right now. Yeah, I don't think we could use gaze like it was saying. I think we can use the roll, yaw, and pitch, and then maybe one of the pieces of the gaze as a data point. But gaze at 66 degrees, like, I don't think that's proper. I think it's because, like, I don't know, you all watch it closely while I'm looking at it. I'm gonna move my eyes around and you'll see, like I'm looking directly into the center of the camera right now. What is the gaze? I'll pause it. Oh, no. Right, so I'm looking directly at it and it's negative 49 degrees. That doesn't seem very accurate. And then when I'm looking away from it, it's 90 degrees. What about when I'm looking up? 45 degrees positive. And when I'm looking down, or cross-eyed. Try to track that, AI library. All right, looking down. Up. I don't know why when I look down, I want to go cross-eyed. Looking down is 15 degrees, so it's all positive. When is it negative? Looking to my right. When I'm looking to my right, it's negative. Looking to my left, it's positive. I don't understand how it determines that. When you looked up, it went down somehow. Interesting. Yeah, man, you're interesting. You got a loyal... I appreciate that, Mr. Levin. Thank you very much for that. I need to get alerts set up for the YouTube side of things so that I know when people sub, but thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it. Yawn pitch is all you need. You think so, Roy? Lisi? And if you didn't notice, Mr. Levin, I'm also talking to people on Twitch. So, but I pretty much read every message out loud so that no matter where you're watching the stream, you get the context. Marcus Voice Coder says, hope that mesh washes off. Okay. Roy says, look at the arrows of the eyes. It's wrong sometimes. Yeah, that's why I don't think it's a very good thing to focus on. All right, let's see what the AI came up with, though. Before running the code, we'll figure that out in a second. Let's look at the code and analyze it. All right, so we got is facing camera function. We have the human library and image. I don't want an image, but okay. Detect image. Faces.map face. Rotation angle. Face roll. Yeah. Oh, he's using destructuring. That's nice.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Levin_Kamesh.
What's up, Kamesh? Yeah, I'm here too. Good to hear. Welcome in. Happy to have you here. First time message. Thank you for following the channel too. Appreciate that. Marcus says, hope that... I read that already. Okay. I'm all caught up. All right, so they're like, hey, here's all the thresholds you can use. Bearing, yaw. Right, and we want is orientation facing camera. If math.absolute pitch is less than pitch threshold, end, is gaze facing camera. And strength greater than that. Return true if both, right? Faces dot for each face. That's pretty good. All right. It's okay. I'm not going to use it exactly, but I like what it did. Because I'm using a video stream and not a still image. what were these key points? Face detection. The human.detect method is used to detect faces in the provided image. Make sure the image is accessible and correctly formatted for the human library. Yep, we're already doing that. Orientation and gaze analysis. For each detected face, the pitch roll are checked against a defined threshold to determine if the orientation suggests the face is faced in camera. Similarly, the gaze, bearing, and strength are analyzed. Thresholds. Those are adjustable. You might need to experiment with that. Before running the code, ensure the human library is correctly installed. You'll need to include it in your HTML or import it in JavaScript. Yep, we're already doing that. Replace your image element with the actual element you're analyzing, such as the image tag element or a video frame. Okay. And then it's using async await. Make sure your environment supports that. Very cool. That's a pretty great answer. I'm glad you're here, Mr. Levin. Roy Lisa says, I'd still suggest removing roll because you roll your head while dancing and it would move roll out of the threshold. Well, I that's fair. However, I just need it to, if you think about it, I just need it to detect within a second. Like if I'm looking at it for more than a second, or if it's within that threshold for multiple frames of the video feed, then it's going to switch to that camera and just stay there. You know what I mean? So even if I move my head around, that's okay, because I'm not going to tell it to switch to another camera if it doesn't detect it in this camera. I'm only going to have it, it's only positively reinforced, basically, is what you can think of as, right? So if that one's showing, if that other camera ever shows positive, then that's when it switches. So it only matters the positive of it. Once it switches to that scene, even if I'm moving around, it just has to detect it at first, then it stays on that scene until another camera fully detects it. You know what I mean? Makes sense. But sometimes you look at a camera whilst your head is fully rolled. Yeah. Like that? Or you mean, I forget what roll is, but I get what you're saying. We'll tinker with it. Okay. All right. So let's get back to the code then. Let's kind of copy this a little bit. I do want to use math.absolute on this. I want to use this, how they're destructuring. Let's go back here. So we are currently, maybe we break this out into a separate function because it's getting a little, I mean, it's mostly long because of all the logs we were doing just to kind of capture the data. But, so we'll say like, we're going to say const is face looking equals, and then we're going to say, check, I don't know, what do we call it? Determine, yeah, we'll call it like that. Paste that in there like that. Now what I'm going to do is create a separate function down here. Async, call it await up there. Detect if face is looking, camera result, little GitHub Copilot's assisting me. So we're using ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot to help figure this out with us. We're going to paste this in here for now. Oh, we're going to need the face, aren't we? Result face. How is it? Oh, it's in the result there. Okay. Yeah. We're going to cut this out. This is all the logic I had for that. Cut this out to here and put it in that new function. Kind of. No. Almost. Roy says, right. Best way to do that is testing. And I mean, when you look at the GoPro, stare at it. You tilt your head sideways and keep it that way till you switch. I got you. I was just explaining what I said. Shush. Okay, no worries. Heads up, we got an ad starting in about 3 minutes and 50 seconds on Twitch. Go back down here. Paste that in. All right, so actually, we just want to grab this stuff out of that. Kind of. I don't want to cut it. Put it back in here. What I want to do is take, basically this is going to say, if his face is looking, and then I'm doing a facing count. So this right here, this logic that I have is essentially, I don't want it to necessarily immediately switch over. I mean, I kind of want it to.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Fucheros.
What's up, Frank? How's it going, buddy? Happy Friday. What I'm doing here is I don't want it to imagine. Here's the scenario, right? Let's say I'm looking at the GoPro on this side and I switch over to look at not this camera, but you notice I'm passing. My face is going to pass through that camera to look at that camera on the right-hand side. So I don't want it to accidentally think that I'm looking at this camera to switch to this scene until I'm like looking at it for like a good second or two. You know what I mean? And so the way this is working is it's using the request animation frame function that's built into browsers. And so basically I want to, in a sense, when it detects faces looking for more than, let's say, 20 frames, relatively speaking here, kind of. I don't know if that's necessarily an accurate way to put it, but you get the idea. Generally speaking, if it's more than 20 frames, then, which would be like a second, maybe I need to make this higher. We'll tinker with that. Then we can accurately say I'm looking at that camera because, you know what I mean? That's another thing I got to factor into this. Roy Lisi, thank you for the hydrate. I haven't had any water, actually. Thank you, Roy Lisi, for reminding me for that. I forget. When I get in this mode like this, I forget. Okay. Sorry, so we want that. And then in here, we're going to do pitch yaw, da-da-da-da. It's going to be... Where's result coming from? Or we're passing in result anyway. Result.face and camera. Do I need camera anymore, actually? It's going to be result.face. We need to first check if... let's say let is looking equal false. And at the end, just for now, return is looking. So it's going to be false. Basically, if not result face, return is we want to like quick escape right here. Return false right away. If we don't have a result or there's no faces that were detected, then there's no point in trying to analyze this any further. Then we'll return false. Otherwise, we're going to check the results further. We're going to say result.face. It should have rotation, angle, and gaze, and then we'll pull out those values there. And then what we'll say, we don't need that logic anymore. We do want the live. We do want to set up thresholds too, right? So we're going to say, just like how ChatGPT suggested, we got these thresholds, right? I don't know if those aren't going to be the values probably, but we're going to set these up here first. Pitch threshold, yaw threshold. We're going to say const live threshold. Yep. We can get rid of these comments. We know what the... All right. Live threshold greater than live threshold.
An ad is about to start at 1,000 milliseconds on Twitch. There's an ad running for 90.
Okay. Actually, we should just do this too. We should say, okay, we got a face. We're going to grab face 0. So we're going to say const face equals result dot face 0. Yep. Simplify this a bit so it doesn't look so wonky. Simplify. Semper Fi, do or die. We'll do face. Face. All right, now we're working off the same thing. We don't need this camera stuff. I'm gonna remove that. We're gonna add just a bunch of this logic. We can get rid of this. That's essentially what's gonna happen here. We're gonna say is looking equals true. That's it. All right, but now we just need to update this if logic, right? So we had that live threshold. We got the face score threshold. We need to do the pitch. Oh, what did we decide again? And roll. We want a pitch with a range that is like that. As an homage to AI, you have to dance now like a robot. Okay, Marcus, voice coder. That's not going to happen right now, though. I'm trying to think, because the pitch threshold, we want it to be like there's a... what would be the right word to describe this, chat? The high end of the range and the low end of the range. I'm blanking on it right now. So like the pitch threshold is not just one number. It's going to be a lower pitch, lower threshold, pitch upper threshold. Is it lower and upper we're thinking? Does that sound right? Pitch upper threshold and then pitch lower threshold. I feel like that works. What do you think, folks? So upper threshold will be 0.1. And then lower threshold will be 0.0, negative 0.05. And then same with roll. Upper threshold. Lower threshold. I'm not sure. I think upper threshold is fine. Okay. 0.1, same thing. Wait, no, that's supposed to be for yaw. Whatever. Upper. Lower. Strength. Which one was strength? Oh, okay. We should specify this. Gaze strength threshold. Gaze bearing threshold. I don't know what we want that to be. I don't think we're going to use that just yet, right? Did we decide? It's kind of hard to tell. What did we say for yaw? Looking is closer to 0 as well. I'm not sure. I think that was Coachon. I read that already. Okay. I'm going to go with this for now. Basically 0, 0 is straight on. Yeah. That's pretty close to 0, right? Unless I did like positive 0.01 or 5. Give it that type of a range. Maybe that's better. Let's try that to be a little bit more tightly wound there. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to say, I kind of want to just put it in a function. Is yaw in range, is roll in range, is pitch in range, kind of. Also, I don't want to forget, I need to do a weight, otherwise that's going to screw it up. Oh, wait. Made that mistake before. We're going to say async function is yaw in range. We're going to take the yaw upper threshold. Yeah. Look at this. Chat GPT. I mean, GitHub Copilot. Yaw is less than or equal to upper threshold. Yep. And then async function is pitch in range. Why didn't it do that for me? Async function is pitch. Yeah, there we go. Okay, just need to type it out a bit more. You're in the South, so it's all y'all. It's all y'all. All right, we just care about the pitch and... All right, we're going to say end is pitch in range. Why is it multiple? Look at this. GitHub Copilot's like, hey, pitch upper threshold, pitch lower threshold is yaw in range, and then does pitch again. Oh, we should do math.absolute. That's true. We need to get math.absolute in there. What does math.abs do again? Math.abs rounds it down, doesn't it? Is pitch in range with roll parameters. Returns an absolute value of a number. Oh, okay. So that way, if you're using point numbers, yep. Need to do math. Absolute. Almost forgot that. We should probably do the same thing with like the live value for all of them. Face score. Is pitch in range? I'm going to say pitch upper threshold, pitch lower threshold. And then we're going to say end is pitch and yaw. Pitch and yaw. Is yaw in range? Yaw? I guess actually I should just pass it in that way. Do it once. Math.abs like that. Yaw upper threshold, yaw lower threshold. And I should do the same here. I have an extra parentheses in this. I was missing one. I'll wrap this in parentheses. Math.absolute on that as well. Now I don't need to do this here. A little overkill. Although anybody else that might be using this would need to know. What are you doing with the math.absolute? You got it? Did you see what it does? It makes sure to get the most accurate number, like a floating point number, instead of rounded numbers. It removes the sign? What do you mean the sign? All right, so we got make sure the live threshold is greater than the live threshold. Basically always positive. Oh, it removes the sign. I guess I don't want that then, right? Oh, also that was wrong. That would make it correct. All right, we want to get rid of that. Let's just try it without. And we can console log. We'll debug a little bit here. let me ask ChatGPT. So, this is helpful. Thank you. Why are you using math.abs? Doesn't that remove negative numbers? I believe we would want to see negative numbers, right? From the detection results, right? Let's see what it says. Regardless of their direction. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense. So a pitch, so for example, a pitch of -5 degrees slightly down or +5 degrees slightly up, both suggest the face is generally oriented towards the camera as long as these values are within our defined threshold. Example, 10 degrees. That makes sense. Similarly, a yaw of -8 degrees slightly to the left and +8 degrees slightly to the right would still fall within that threshold. Yep. That makes sense. However, some of the results show as, you know, -0.01. Would this still apply for those kind of values? Easier to gauge if values in a range versus both negative and positive versions of the range. That's true. Okay. We're learning. I'm learning. Okay, that makes sense. So then we want it to be, we don't need to worry about upper and lower threshold anymore. That's why it had that there. We're learning together, chat. Look at that. We could just say within that, get rid of the upper. We don't need an upper threshold anymore. We can just say it has to be within 0.05 or less.
Welcome in and thanks
Makes
for
sense.
joining today's IN08.
What's up, Sean A? Win of the week, I was able to quickly patch around JFrog's outage yesterday. Also, I was able to get our Sonar Cube instance running. That's awesome to hear, Sean. Thank you for sharing and congrats. All right, I got 20 minutes. I think what we're going to aim to get done, because I don't think I'm going to be able to like hook it up to OBS WebSockets by the end of this. So maybe either off stream or next stream I'll do that. What I'm hoping is what we're going to do is I'm going to look at the different cameras and we're going to see if it'll console log like accurately. I'm looking at camera 1 versus camera 2 versus camera 3. If we can see that, then we've succeeded with making good progress today. Sean says, for more context on my bleeping and me bleeping my swears, see the vent. Yeah, I got you. I will check. I didn't notice you mentioned it in there, but didn't get a chance to reply or ask more about the details of that just yet. All right, so we're going to do yaw is going to be, and we're just going to say, actually, say is in, all this is in threshold range. So it's just one function, value, and then threshold, right? And we get rid of this last one. So now we can just say, hey, math absolute this here, make sure it is less than, or not yaw, but value, and it's less than or equal to threshold. This simplifies it greatly. I like this a lot. I like this a lot. Now I can get rid of this other function and I just call the is in threshold range again. So we're gonna say is, we're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna do it for both pitch and yaw. So is, oh, we gotta do a wait. A wait is in threshold range for pitch. Pitch threshold is in threshold range for roll. We don't want roll. I just want you all right now. Get rid of these other ones. All right, I think that's good. I love that quick reading of Mozilla documentation and getting the wrong definition of a function to be on. Yeah, that's what I do though. It's a common thing. I unfortunately do that a lot. I went math.absolute. Okay, thank you. I click on this. I'm like, oh yeah, it just rounds it. I'm a knucklehead. Method returns the absolute value of a number. You know what the thing is? It doesn't show a negative. That's why. Oh, this is a negative because difference it's a minus b. I didn't pick up on that. 1.2 minus 7.8. A minus b, right? So that would be negative 6 point something, but it gave an output of that. I didn't catch that. Or 3 minus 5. I didn't catch that. I read it way too quickly. Good call, good call. All right. So now when we call that, move this down here. We don't even need camera being passed in anymore. We just need the result. And now up here, get rid of the camera. Just say results. Analyze the result. Is the face looking? It is, and we can keep doing that whole thing that I was doing there. I think this should work. All right, it should have refreshed too, so we can come back here. We're going to add each camera in. So this is camera 1. We're add another camera. This is camera 2. Add a third camera. And I think this is camera 3. All right, so now we're going to start tracking. Although I have a lot of console logs. Chat, you need to pay attention to this. When it says, or maybe make it a little smaller. Camera 3 looking, basically. I'm going to clear the screen. Start tracking camera 3. Start tracking camera 2. Start tracking camera 1. Oh, it's logging way too much. Stop.
Welcome in and
Stop.
Thanks for joining today, Divya Pratap Singh.
Refresh the page. Too much. Yeah, I can't read that fast. What is this even? What's up, Divya? I am working on, you'll see basically, because we're close. I just gotta get rid of some of these console logs. Maybe we can comment that out. Or else do I have any console logs going on in here? Just that one should be it, or not looking. Well, hopefully it's just these two. I think that should be it. Let's try. We'll just try it with just the first one. Clear that. Start the tracking. All right, so it's not detecting that I'm looking yet. Shit. It's not detecting I'm looking at all. Oh. It's detecting my face, but the values aren't enough, I guess. Oh, yeah. Why? Wait a minute. Why is it using this camera? That's the wrong camera. No, that's the right camera. That's the one that's selected. I'm not looking at it. That's why. It's not being looked at. All right, so that one's not working. Let's see if we switch to a different camera. What's going on with this? Stop tracking. Let's refresh the page, start over. What was the VS Code theme? It's called Night Owl. Night Owl, no italics. Whoops, where'd it go? Oh, my Oh, no. Why is it bright? What happened? That one. That's the correct one. Oh, man. It does have a bright version, I see. And suddenly my eyes are blasted by a nuclear bomb. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm trying to determine if the camera detects me looking at it. Divya. Thank you for tuning in over on YouTube. Frank says, because you have your hat the other way around, AI thinks it's the back of your head. I see what you did there. You're funny. You're funny. All right, camera, that one. Clear. Start tracking. All right. Now we're going to see if it's looking. So it's picking up my face, but it doesn't think I'm looking yet. It's saying I'm not being looked at. It's not being looked at. But it is being looked at. So what is the problem? What are the values? Let's freeze it there. The roll is 15 degrees. The yaw is negative 37. The pitch is negative 13. I don't know. Flabbergasted by VS Code. That's pretty cool too. I'm glad to hear that. So we gotta tweak the thresholds. That's what we gotta do. Paused in a weird moment. Did I? Oh yeah. What is going on with the mesh on there? The whole detection was off the face. Yeah. Do I up it though? I kind of want. All right. For now, let's console log what the values are. Control I. Console log the pitch, yaw, pitch, yaw.
Welcome in and thank
live
you for joining today, Geo.
And face score, please. It looks like it logged when you looked at the camera. Yeah. Perfect. I just don't know why it doesn't pick up on the context of the indentation though. What's up, CMJIO? CMJ, good to see you. Welcome in. Use detect multiscale, detects faces in Python. I am unfortunately not using Python. The log said not. Yeah. Well, the log said not because it's based on these thresholds. So I just want to see what the thresholds are that are indicating that it's not looking. That's the idea. Oh, I didn't mean that camera. This camera. So when I'm not looking, I guess I should do math.absolute, right? Just so we know. Math.absolute. And then I'm not worried about the lives being positive or negative right now. Yeah, that should be it. All right, start the camera again. I always do the wrong one. I don't know why it defaults to that one. Oh, so it's 0.2. 0.1. So maybe I gotta do less than 0.3 instead of 0.05. That might be why. Let's do 0.5 for now. And then we can comment this out. Snapchat uses it for facial recognition. Nice. That's good to hear. I'm looking. I'm looking. I'm looking. Why do you still think I'm not looking? Now I'm not looking. Now I'm looking. Now I'm not looking. Now I'm looking. But it's not figuring that out. Must be a me problem. Stop staring at me, JT. Let's keep looking at the console logs, I guess, then. I thought 0.5. What do I have? Its value is less than or equal to the threshold. Pitch. So we got to see if the yaw and pitch are less than 0.5. We should be... It got it once, yes. Thank you for coming to my testing session. Okay, here we go. I'm not looking. And it's saying pitch.
Bearded Builder says you're yeah boy.
Yaw, yeah, boy. What's up, Wall Bearded Builder? Good to see you, buddy. Pitch. Pitch is less than 0.5. But yaw is well above it. Pitch, yaw. Maybe it's the live that's causing it? Okay, so that's when I'm not looking. Oh, my face got almost 100 score. I got a 96 out of 100. I have a good face. Roy says, why don't you try just yaw? Because your pitch goes up and down either way. You raise your head up when trying to look at the camera. Okay. Yeah. We can look into that. But let's see what the value... All right, so we know what the values are when it's math.absolute, when I'm looking away. Now, when I'm looking at it...
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Bald Bearded Builder.
This is great AI, says Bald Bearded Builder. Yes, he has a face. I am alive. I'm 90% alive. Yaw is 0.02, so it is within range, and so is pitch. Was it logging that I'm looking? It was not. Something is wrong. And live is 1, and face score is 1. It's something with my logic. Live is greater than the threshold of 0.9, yes. Face score is greater than they're both 1. So that is within range. I wonder what these are returning. Let's do this. Ow. It's got to be my lot. It's got to be a me problem, right? Console dot... Oh, man, I hate when it does that. Log is yaw in... Is yaw in range? Result. Yeah. And then console dot is pitch in range. Result. We're logging it all. We're logging it all. Would be interesting to see how this works with people with no chins. Yeah. Frank says the log the test result instead of the values. Yep. All right. We're doing this. Start tracking my face, AI. Look at... So pitch is in range, but yaw is not. See, it's false and true. Now when I look... True and true. So what is not... Why is it... If they're both returning true, then something's wrong. Maybe it's not the yaw and the pitch that's the problem. Maybe it's these face scores? But the face scores being logged are what? Oh, 0.9. Oh, that's still above 0.9. Greater than... Oh, shit. Greater than or equal to, maybe. That might be the problem. And let's make it like... 0.95. 0.95. Let's try that. That might be what the problem was. True and true equals true. Did I miss something? Triple B knows all about y'all. Y'all coming over for some supper? All right, so that should all work. Is it in range? True, true. All right, let's get rid of the logs now. Comment them out. We should do these too as well. Let's just do this just to double check. Console.log is face score in range. Yep. And then is live in range. Yep. Copilot. You're so helpful. I had to type 2 keystrokes instead of 80. All right, I got 4 minutes, chat. We got 4 minutes. All trues. This is the 2020 version of Face Off. Dang. All trues across the board. So it should be working now. All right, so let's get rid of these console logs. This seems to be the most accurate way. Am I doing something in here? So is face looking and face looking count greater than 20? Yes. That's so that I'm looking at it more than like 1 frame. I think pitch is pretty useless considering you can have 0 pitch whilst looking away, and you don't have cameras under and above. They're left to right, but useful. I mean, future useful. Maybe some politicians should have this. Maybe. All right. So is facing is true. Console log camera is being looked at, and we should see this happen. All right. Let's try. Last chance. For romance tonight. Na, 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 na. Banana.
Bald-bearded builders.
Banana.
Please.
Banana. All right, I am definitely not looking right now. I am looking. I'm looking longer than I am looking. Okay, good. Now I'm not looking. Now I'm looking. I'm looking. Hello. I'm looking at you.
It's about to start in 5,000 milliseconds.
I'm not looking. Oh, I'm looking.
There's an ad running for 90.
And I'm not looking. And I'm looking. And I'm not looking. And I'm looking. And I'm not looking. And I'm facing you. And I'm not facing you. And I'm facing you. And I'm not facing you. And I'm facing you. And now I'm not facing you. Now I'm really not. I'm angry. I'm giving you the cold shoulder. All right. I think that's good. We have accuracy. Now, let's try it on another camera, though. Because I don't think these thresholds are going to work. Stop tracking. Stop that. We're going to go here. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I agree. 2 minutes. Is creepy? Is not creepy. Okay, here we go. I'm looking. And I'm not looking. Why is it doing this? Is not being looked at. What is this? Allocated tensors keep logging. I wasn't doing that with the other one. And I'm not looking. All right, something's not right with that. Why is it only that many allocated sensors? Maybe if I refresh. Start that camera. Console. Start tracking. Oh, now see, now we have all the tensors. I'm looking. I'm not looking. I'm looking. I'm not looking. It only knows when I'm not looking at it. I'm looking. And I'm not looking. I gotta probably tweak the values on this one. What does it say? Live is 67. That's why. It only thinks I'm 67% alive. That camera measures the tension of your neck, says Frank. Good luck. No pressure. Do it. Yep. Not hot dog. Remember those? All right. I got to end stream now, though, chat. This has been fun. I will work a bit on this off stream to figure out better thresholds, but you get the idea. We are so close to accurately determining when I'm looking at each camera. Just not quite there. I got to tweak the thresholds for each camera. I need to set up This is like note to self for future stream and future work. I need to set up for each camera what the thresholds should be so I can dynamically set that instead of having them hard-coded in here like in this function. Okay? All these that are hard-coded. So that way I can set for this camera, I want it to be this threshold. Like the one that, this main camera, we know those thresholds work pretty well, or okay. Not really that great just yet, but okay. And then the other camera is different and so forth. So that's the plan. All right. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you got some laughs out of my goofiness. And we are going to call it because I got to go on a date. I got to get ready. I got to finish up some work and get ready to go on a date. All right. So thank you everybody for tuning in to the Clarkio Shenanigans Show. It's every Friday right here on twitch.tv/Clarkio or youtube.com/Clarkio at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. Okay. Does my wife know that we have a date? Yes. Yes. So close. You know the 80-20 rule, right? I do, Frank. May says there was laughing today. I'm glad to hear that. Enjoy your long weekend. Appreciate that. 'Twas amazing. Thank you, Roy Lisi. Thank you, everybody. Please select the frame with a traffic light in it. Are you doing like a in-chat live stream CAPTCHA on me right there, CMJ? I hate CAPTCHAs so much. You just hit a nerve there with that one. Thank you. I'm not looking at you. I'm looking. I'm not. I'm looking. I'm not looking. All right. Thank you, everybody. I hope you had some fun. I'm not going to go raid. I got to run. So I thank you for tuning in. If you want to keep in touch, be sure to join the Discord, please. You can go to clarkio.com/Discord to get the invite there, or use the link in the chat that just popped in, and I'll be in touch with you there, okay? That'll give you alerts for when I go live, and you can stay in touch. If you're watching on Twitch, be sure to follow. And if you're watching over on YouTube, be sure to subscribe, please. That way you know when the next stream happens or new videos come out. All right. Thank you all very much. Hope you all have a good weekend. If you have an extended weekend here in the U.S., enjoy it. Have a great time. I'll see you next week. Peace out, Cub Scouts.